Why is it that some songs grab us by the heart and touch our deepest core, while others sound good but don't move us the same way emotionally? In this video, I want to look into what makes a song emotionally moving, and why is it that there are some songs that sound like they were recorded on a microwave that move us deeply, and there are others recorded in a professional studio with the best gear that don't seem to have any life in them. The difference isn't in the quality of gear used or the studio or the microphone or the production strategy. It's in the performance, the way the song is delivered. There are musicians who have studied music their entire life and can play every single note as fast as humanly possible. And then there are artists like B.B. King who would just sit back and play the pentatonic scale, the same 5 notes, and make them bleed and just make the audience melt. There's this legendary quote from Miles Davis that pretty much sums it up. He says, "Anybody can play the note. The note is only 20%. It's the attitude of the motherfucker who's playing the note that's the other 80%. So emotion isn't in the key of the song or in the mic used or in the note. It's in the attitude, it's in the emotion, it's in the performance. It's in the emotional state that the performer is in when they deliver the song. A couple years ago, I took this great recording class called Home Recording for the Singer-Songwriter. It was taught by Philip Weinrobe, who produced Adrian Lanker's records. He talked about this great image of recording mountain. Recording mountain is the priority of importance in contributing to the emotional response of a song. So at the top, he has the performance, which is what you pour into the song, the emotional quality that comes through delivering the performance. Then you have the song. So this means that if you have an amazing performance but a mediocre song, it'll still move you emotionally. Then at the bottom of Recording Mountain, you have the playback, the capture. This is the gear used, the mics, the studio, and this is the least important part, which is very interesting. This is why there are some very professionally produced records that fall flat, while there's people recording demos on their iPhone that just hit. One of my all-time favorite songs that's an amazing example of this is called High Bird by Daniel Norgren. This song sounds like it was recorded through an old radio or something. It's staticky, you can hardly hear the lyrics, but the emotional performance in this man's voice moves me so deeply every time. I highly recommend checking it out. I would play it, but I don't want to get copyrighted. There's all these imperfections, there's voice cracks, and these actually bring us closer to the music. We resonate with humanity, not perfection. So a lot of times a recording done in a professional studio that is perfect on paper doesn't hit as hard as something recorded in an untreated space in a one-take performance with voice cracks and breathing and all these little imperfect moments. I actually think that as we have more and more AI music and it becomes easier and easier to create the perfect song, I think that it'll only get more valuable, these imperfect recordings. And I think that music will start to wean back to these raw, authentic expressions, even if they're iPhone recordings. Here's a couple ways to bring this into your own music. The first way that I've integrated is to record in full take performances. Rather than comping together a vocal by cutting it up into 100 little tracks, you leave in the full take, all the imperfections, all the mess ups, all the breaths and everything. This forces you to get good, which I think is a great thing. If you can master the skill of performing an emotional performance, it makes everything else easier. Then you can go in a studio and record and the music will feel better. You can record videos on your phone and post them online and they'll perform better. You also get great practice for touring. when it comes time to play your songs live. Rick Rubin has touched on this idea in his book, and he says something like, mistakes breathe humanity into the work. He also has this quote, which I really love. He says, when the work has 5 mistakes, it's not done. When it has 8 mistakes, it might be. So what makes a song emotionally moving? Yes, the song matters, of course, and so does the recording, the capture. But the most important thing in creating the strongest emotional response is the performance. If we as songwriters prioritize the performance at all costs, it almost doesn't matter what gear we're using. The emotion comes through.